postpone the Lakers-Clippers game tonight following the death of Lakers legend Kobe Bryant. That game will be rescheduled. Bryant, his daughter, and 7 others, including 2 other little girls, killed in a helicopter crash in California. As you know, it happened on Sunday. Well, as you can imagine, the news has been really hard to process for fans all over the world. And this morning, we wanted to bring in licensed mental health counselor Shantala Boss to talk more about how you can talk to your kids about this if they're asking questions. Great to have you, as always. Thank you. This is something adults have a hard time with, right? So we know that we struggle with death, especially something that is sudden. But when children come to this and they are faced with this, it's even more difficult for them, isn't it?
It is, because they haven't had the exposure that we have had. Oftentimes they don't even know exactly what death is. And sometimes adults are afraid to say the terms like died. They want to say passed away or went to sleep. And that's something that we don't want to do. We have to be concrete in how we describe death to children, because this is something that they're going to deal with the rest of their life, and we cannot shelter them from. So with icons like Kobe Bryant, an important thing to know is he is a big part of the youth's life because of Instagram, because of Snapchat, because today's age, they are always watching these people.
Sure.
They are all over the place. It's not just like when we were kids, when maybe we had a poster and we checked up on them sometimes. It's a part of their life. It's a part of their livelihood. So if this is a superstar that they followed, losing them is extremely tragic, because they feel they have had a personal connection with this person.
And it's such a tragic way, too. And I think that a lot of people are looking at this story and they feel terrible for everyone who was on board, the adults, but knowing that there were 3 little girls on this helicopter who didn't even really get a chance to start life, it gives us pause for thought about our own mortality. And for children, I think that's especially hard, because they know there were children on board.
Exactly. That makes it double, triple, quadruple hard for kids. So the whole situation is just very difficult to deal with for kids. So how do we do that? What do we talk to them about? And it really depends on, as I'm always saying, developmental level, but a lot of it also has to do with their history and their past. So yesterday I was talking to a couple kids, and the only concern he had was, when he said, now their team is not going to do well. So he was angry. So that was okay. That was his response. That was where he was at. So we talked about that. Whereas I had a little bit older girl who was upset and worried that her parents were going to die. So every child has their own experience that they're going to attach to the situation. And so we just need to stand back and listen, and then go forward with helping them process and not put on our own emotion to the situation.
A lot of times therapists will say, well, wait for them to ask you a question. Don't bring it up, yourself. Wait for them to come to you. Do you like that school of thought, or do you think it depends on the situation?
It depends on the situation and the age. If they're very, very young and they're really not on social media much, like 5 and 6, you may not want to bring it up. But if they are 7, 8, you might want to say, hey, what have you heard at school? Just kind of put some feelers out there and see what they're thinking and hearing, because a lot of times too, rumors go out. Kids don't know what's going on, and when people are in the process of grief, they often have outlandish stories. Part of that is just denial, not knowing how to deal with it, and it can also make it worse, because then you're not having the facts. So it's hindering the grieving process, because you've got more going on than reality.
All right. Well, it's great advice. Shantala Boss, we always appreciate you coming on and being with us. Thank you so much for being here this morning. A tough subject for a lot of people. All right, Kristen, we're going to send it back over to you.